Right, here we go. Welcome tapeheads, YouTube, and wherever you are, lovers of cassette tapes. Today is going to be pretty exciting as we are going to see how we are going to record on chrome BASF tapes, chrome dioxide tapes. Right in front of us we have Beocord 6000 from the early 80s, 1981. That's going to help us figure out how to get optimal results from it. So in short, we have the Beomaster 6000, and go down we have a record player. It is called the Beogram 6006, and it's the Rare White Edition 1, and it's the brother to the Beogram 8000. And lastly we had flagship, the Beocord 9000. And what is the Beocord was the question. The Beocord is the fancy word for all tape recorders made by Bang & Olufsen, and they are all pretty high quality. They didn't save and produce a cheap one. Every Beocord was up to the standards of high quality and love. It was just not designed. Sorry. So every Beocord you buy, you can get pleasant surprise in recording and go, well, it doesn't matter if it's a 60s one or 60s with wheel to wheel, but 70s we started to get Beocords like the 900 and 1100 so far, and here we are in 1983 with the 9000, and it got solved a few problems. And that was by the heyday of cassette tapes. You had a lot of different cassette tapes available, but you also had some standards on what should the producers of tape recorders set their standards to what tapes would be best for this machine for the best results. Still, you had the options of hundreds of thousands of different kind of variations and tapes and types. That it was a bit, what was the best to put it on, and in this case, well, any tape would matter if we if the futures of the Beocord would be right for it. So an automated calibration system that will check the sensitivities of the tape, every tape it's going to record, then that tape it will be using wouldn't matter as much, would it? So they came up with a calibration system for the 9000, and that became the flagship. And they, well, the test of time has shown again and again that it's pretty bulletproof for optimal recording on any tape. And it doesn't matter if it's a chrome dioxide BASF or a TDK-SA or a TDK made in Thailand or Taiwan, or what crap tapes you find today. Or crap tapes, I don't know. That's what's left. Well, buy premium tapes for what you can find them to, or you get the cheap type ones everywhere in Goodwill stores and whatnot. But let's get to it. Instead of me rambling on here. And I have, if I turn it right, BASF 60 Chrome Dioxide Super 2, and I guess it's the late 70s, early 80s tape. And let me get it out of the box. There we have it. Still have the tabs correct. It has some Kenny Rogers on it that I listened to yesterday. It wasn't the most exciting recording. Here we have still the original inlay. it should be able to take more and so forth and so on. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that. All that matters is if we get the optimal recordings from the tape player itself on this. And the 9000, as we can see, does it. So what do we do? Right, we put it in by pushing eject. It will open up. As you can see, we have a lot of instructions for different things on the lid. Pretty handy. But it's pretty simple. We put the tape in, if I am able to, like that, and to light up, like that. Just put rewind. As you can see, it lights up for Chrome. That it lights up for whatever tape type you put in. If you put a tape 1, it goes ferro. If you put type 4, it goes metal. If you put ferrochrome, which it also takes all types. It doesn't does it right. It chooses either chrome or ferro, so you have to manually put ferro and chrome together. So here we have it, the fuses of, but this is timer start and timer stop, and time set and tape end. And for recording, as it was, we type. That is for the type manually. You see ferro and chrome, and back to chrome again. And there we have the Dolby, BNC, and store and record Cal. But it's so simple. We push record open so we are ready to record, and the lights up in red. And then we push down for a few seconds this particular button called red caliber, and it will go into some calibration that takes about 5 to 10 seconds. And I press it down so these 3 operations will be measured. Which is the calibration, the time calibration, and the last one. That's it. Timer set, correct time, and now it's ready for record, and it stops. So now all the 3 things are set. Let's look at the source of recording, and let's get some light. We are going to the record player, and it's always best to make sure that the static when you record and cartridges are clean. So you wipe it off. I tested this record last night, and it's a pretty clean record. So we push play, but we don't record yet because we have to set the levels. And it goes out. And it starts to. This is a recording of Tina Turner live in Europe. And I'll get back to why that is. As you can see, the levels show that it goes 2 to 8. And as far as the levels go, we put it as according to the manual. Says so that's about it on both sides. So move the sliders carefully to do it. So and make sure that both aligns left and right. But my philosophy and the user manual on it says that each red light means 1 dB, a couple of dBs in boosting and the stored signals. But the lower you get it, the cleaner the signal the signal on the tape is recorded. So there's no need for boosting anything because it was going to come out sounding the best. But let's look at the manual. Not every Beocord 9000 comes with a manual or calibration tape these days, so I'm lucky to have one. Let's see if I can find what I'm supposed to explain. Yeah, 1 dB for each red light, so that's 2 to 3% distortion. It says so. The less distortion, the better. Unless you're a musician and have a guitar amp, then distortion can be pretty cool. But on the tape, I don't prefer it, and I never did. So that's that with levels. Let's see if I can find that what it does under the. Here it is. The 5 steps of the calibration system. Pre-magnetized left channel, pre-magnetized right channel, the sensitivity of the frequencies, treble for the third, and the sensitivity of the mids, and then the peak program 0 to 2% distortion, and adjusts all that for optimal recordings on any tape. So what do we need to do now? Well, we need to reverse the tape to the beginning because it has produced some test tones like that. So now it's at the start. So we delete the test tone it has made. We push record once. Then we get. It works at record pause mode. You push once, it's a record mode, and you can push set the levels. And it sounds alright, so we go back. Pause that one. Right, so we push either play or record. Push record first, then play. And now we are recording. On a Chrome Dioxide BASF. And as far as Dolby goes, it's off. Because if it's the ultimate recording on a tape, how much noise should be there? So so much that you absolutely need WB or C on it? Well, when I started to record, it wasn't. I recorded with metal tapes and on WC. You know, it was the greatest. But do we really need Dolby on it? To me, we didn't. Let's see if on the levels for this recording. We have the bass up on 2, but otherwise it's pretty flat. But as it records and copyright and stuff, we're just gonna stop it right here. It's already long enough. I will be back in 15 minutes or so when the record is over, and then we can take a listen to the results of this tape. Does that sound like a good idea? So that's how it looks when a BIOS system 6000 records. On the bottom, we actually have what is called a CDX. It's a CD player. It's not hooked up to the RCR outflux, but it does work. So I will be back when we reach the end of this. See ya.